Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond have both left Xbox. I would be remiss to say that I didn't feel a certain way about it, even though I'm not an Xbox like diehard, nothing like that. But it does feel like the end of an era. It feels like the end of the agenda they were trying to push. Not agenda in a bad way, but the thing they were trying to push was like game as a service, game is everywhere. And it feels like a lot of things that they probably wanted to see the future of gaming go to probably won't be accomplished anymore. But today was the day that they were officially announced that they were gone. Phil Spencer, plenty of years, like I think over 3 decades of experience at Xbox, multiple years, a decade plus of running Xbox, whether for the good or bad, depending on who you ask. He was probably the face, if not the best face Xbox had. And Sarah Bond was there right beside him. Not really as, likable as Phil was, but definitely a major part of the ecosystem and the vibes that Xbox gave off all these years. Microsoft themselves are trying to make it seem like that, this was not a spur of the moment. It was planned out for over a year, but it definitely doesn't seem like that once you start looking around the internet. Like literally on Sarah Bond's LinkedIn, 3 hours before Phil Spencer announced that he was letting go and she left, she posted a post about, gaming together and sticking together. A typical Xbox post on a random day. Now, it might be a scheduled post, but it doesn't change the fact that this was not planned years ago if you know today was going to be the day that it was all going to go down, right? The new person in charge taking over, I don't want to mispronounce her name, but she is known for being part of AI things. And as we know, AI is everywhere, right? And AI is taking over to the fact that it's becoming a bubble, and that bubble's gonna pop because like everything, the money isn't coming back from AI as fast as it probably could. The money AI is getting it filled up, but the return is not anything crazy right now. So that bubble's gonna pop. But excuse me, I'm a little sick. There will probably be no edits in this video. I'm just here ranting. The Xbox brand itself has been tarnished, just lack of a better word. It has been used in a way that you don't know what Xbox currently is. Like, yes, Xbox has acquired all these studios, which sure, there are some great, amazing studios that they have now that put out games that people want to play. But with the direction that they chose, which was Game Pass, this is an Xbox, that's an Xbox, your mama's an Xbox, everybody's an Xbox. The actual Xbox hardware has failed. Like, who owns an Xbox in 2026 and still uses it consistently? Now, you can say anything about PS5, but at least PS5 has timed exclusive, some big exclusive games that you probably won't get anywhere else for a long time. Eventually, they do come to PC, but they not coming to Xbox, unlike Xbox games. So that's why the outlook on both platforms is so different. But back to my Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond. I have been critical in my own personal life over Phil Spencer and their idea of like what they think the gaming space should be. Like, I don't like the idea of gaming, the main thing in gaming being a live service like Game Pass. Game Pass is a great side thing. Like, hey, I spent $15 this month and I get to play a game I want to play that I probably wouldn't want to pay full price for. But the idea of everything going that way is kind of So I've always been iffy about that. I do think Game Pass was probably the best thing in gaming for a long time. So like, it's not like I dislike what they were doing when it came to Game Pass, but everything else, their direction was like, I don't know. It wasn't working clearly because like Microsoft clearly had to shake things up. But also, I want to know the fact that Microsoft is down in profit. So you know how these companies get when they're down in profit. They cut off the thing that's not making the most money. And that's clearly Xbox. And People are finna start getting let it go again, unfortunately. Um, Phil Spencer, his whole tenure at Xbox, at least as the lead and head of Xbox, has been rocky to say the least. Like, the whole 360 era, I don't know if he wasn't in charge of the 360 era, but the Xbox One era clearly was the downfall of Xbox. Clearly, if you think otherwise, you're living under a rock. The Xbox One era, with them trying to dive into being a multimedia box, doing everything besides focusing on games, was probably the last nail, the gun bullet to the head. Like, it killed them for me, at least, like, because they weren't pumping out good games at that time either. Like, there was a meme going around in there for years, and still to this day, even though it has died down, is Halo, Gears, and Forza. That was their cycle. Like, you might see one or two, like, oh, a record came out, but it was mid. Like, the games they were making, they weren't doing well either. Like, the Halo franchise took a nosedive. The Gears franchise took a nosedive. Only one that was still surviving and still doing well to this day is Forza. So, like, the quality was down, and then that's when they finally pivoted hard to Game Pass, buying out beloved companies. Like, seeing Bethesda under Xbox is still nasty to me. Activision, I'm like, Activision, all they care about is money, so I'm not surprised that they, were acquired by Xbox, but seeing the Bethesda name brand under Xbox is nasty. Now, do I think anything will happen to Bethesda anytime soon? No. Bethesda makes too much money. They got too many great IPs. The TV show Fallout is doing amazing. They're not going anywhere for a long time. But Xbox has a lot of studios now. What happens to a studio like Double Fine who puts out indie hits, but they're not necessarily bangers in the sale department? Obsidian had a rough year. Like, Avowed did not do well. The Outer Worlds 2 did not do well. Like, and it's not like those games are terrible. Avowed is okay, I heard. And the Outer Worlds 2 was great, I heard. But those aren't games that people were looking for necessarily. Like, of course we live in a live service era, so, like, I'm not gonna put all the blame on, like, they should just make live service game, because that's fucking ridiculous. But, like, the games that they're putting out are not what the gaming community are necessarily looking for at this time, right? They need stronger IPs to do so. And they acquired these studios who put out good quality games. Like Compulsion with South of Midnight is a great game. But that's not a game that's going to be a console seller or like a platform seller. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a God of War. Hell, I can even say Horizon. Even though Horizon is getting slutted out. We'll get to that at another part. But, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, these games aren't those names that you would think of besides Bethesda and Activision Blizzard, right? Those games can do that. You know what I'm saying? So when they acquired these people thought that, now the good games are going to start pumping out. And they kind of did. But it wasn't enough. So that's when they started selling on PS5. And then that's when basically everyone viewed Xbox as nothing but third party, really. Like, they became they're the biggest third party in gaming, I'm pretty sure now. So, like, I don't understand what their current vision is, because when the new head of Xbox came in charge, she was saying that want to prioritize the console again. And I'm like, will there be anybody left there that wants to go back and be part of the exclusive Xbox community? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. The way they're going right now is probably the best for them, because at least some games are selling well on these other platforms like Steam and PS5. But trying to go back and make Xbox console first is kind of nuts. I don't think they will do that, because that makes no sense in the long run of the current Xbox brand. But, like, once they pivoted from that, there was no going back. So I don't know. I just, it is a scary time in gaming right now. Like, especially with all these studios that's beloved closing, people getting fired left or right. Like, I don't know. And it sucks not to be able to talk about games because there are some great games coming out. I love Eugenics right now. Eugenics is great. I finally got around to beating Ghost of Yote. Ghost of Yote was great, even though I have issues with how certain characters, you know, Death Stranding. Like, there's a lot of great games coming out. Resident Evil not. Let me stop. But Eugenics, Quarantine Zone. Like, if you look into these smaller games, you'll find a plethora of great stuff. But like, I don't know. The big third parties and big first party companies are like, I don't know, eating themselves alive currently, because not like the gaming industry is doing worse than before or doing worse than ever. Like, it's still the #1 entertainment industry. It's still making a fuck ton of money, but people are getting fired, studios getting closed down just to save their bottom lines, and it sucks. But this is a random video, so forgive me for just being all over the place. Microsoft definitely came into Phil Spencer's office and said, it's time, we're changing direction, it's time for you to go, basically. There's no way in hell they did not do that. I don't believe any other statement, because like, it was announced so early today, randomly. There was like no like video like, hey, it's me, Phil Spencer, and I think it's time. There was nothing. It was just a tweet. Like, and then emails start coming out, posts start coming out, etc. Sarah Bond basically was just out. Like, she probably got something up right now, but like, she was just out. There was no big anything for her. So it's like, you can't convince me that the heads, the upper managements was like, yeah, it's time, of Microsoft. Like, no. And I don't know where they go from here, which is the crazy part about this. Like, if they refocus on games, they're gonna go into these studios and basically be like, yo, what you got? Is it good? You're done. What you got? Is it good? Put it out in a year. And they finna be really hard on these dev teams, because they want to pump out way more games so they can get more money. And then they're finna reorganize people, because you're telling me they're gonna have Obsidian keep trying to do like these games that's not working? Hell no. You're finna go work on something that probably worked. Like New Vegas 2. Like, you're finna work on New Vegas 2. You're not finna be doing whatever you want to do anymore. Unfortunately, the creativity is finna go dramatically down at Xbox, because the big boys are stepping in to get money. And they want money, and they want money fast. So it sucks. To backtrack some a little bit, to go over my thoughts about Xbox these like past 2 decades, like I'll be remiss to say that I wasn't, for a long time I was mainly a PlayStation platform, right? I mainly played on PlayStation. I didn't have a PC. I had Nintendo platforms, but mainly PlayStation was my main platform. And looking over to the other side, the only time I ever felt jealous was in the 360 era, when they had Halos, Gears, Viva Pinata, like all these random games that were coming out on 360. I was like, damn, that looked crazy. But then towards the end of PlayStation, the bangers started coming out, and I felt nothing but happy with my platform, right? Xbox One gave me nothing. Like, I can't remember or think about a game on Xbox One that had me like stuck. Like, oh, this is fantastic. Like, no. And then the Xbox Series X era is worse, because everything came to every platform with PC, PlayStation 5. Like, there was no reason to own an Xbox console unless you love backwards compatibility. That's it. That's it. So like, the feelings I've had about Xbox have always been low, because I've always thought they were making mistakes when it comes to just the games they're releasing. And now I can say in the last like 4 years that they have put out quality games after they acquired all these studios. Even though they've closed down a lot of bullshit too. But they put out some quality games. They were finally looking like, yo, the games are coming out. People are buying the games on other platforms, not necessarily their platform, but they're buying the games. So it's kind of working. So I kind of am wondering, like, why was this the point in time? But I know the point in time because their stocks were down. So there was no other reason but to let some people go. and it just happens to be the heads. You chop off the heads and try to put somebody that you can say, yo, make money and go do it. Yeah, there's just a lot of somberness right now for me. It's not necessarily sad. I don't feel bad for Phil or Sarah Bond. They're gonna be just fine. But for the people who work there, the devs who live by and are worried and terrified of what's coming next, it's a sad feeling. And because a lot of people in the gaming industry felt this way when they knew all these studios being acquired by Microsoft, yeah, it was only a matter of time before something like this happens, and then more people get fired, unfortunately. Do not sell yourself to these big companies just because you think, you know, you can get money now. Like, they gonna shut you down. I swear to God. Excuse me. But yeah, that was basically how I feel about the whole Sarah Bond and fucking Phil Spencer shit. Like, there is no more big figureheads, in my opinion, who care about gaming as much as Phil Spencer did. We used to have people like Shuhei Yoshida. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Shuhei Yoshida, who over at PlayStation was diehard, and he still is. I followed him on Twitter. He still is diehard about games. Like, I can't point to anybody on any side that cares as much as gaming about than Shuhei Yoshida did and Phil Spencer did. There's nobody else at these AAA companies, I'd say, at these first party companies. So, it's definitely the end of the era. And let's not be remiss. Like, let's talk about PlayStation 2. Closing Blue Point Studios is a shame. It's a shame. It's a failure on your part. You should be disgusted with yourself. Home it hurts. Even though you're not going to be the lead anymore, you're going to be the head of a PlayStation Studios, but not necessarily PlayStation in general. But they're moving him around, basically. Yeah, it's a shame. And the fact that they never got a chance to show off what they wanted to do. The game that they were forced to make was a God of War live service game that got canceled. And every game they put out was what somebody wanted. They never put out a game that people did not want. Every collection, every remaster, every remake was something that people wanted and they went and bought. So for them to get shut down is kind of nuts. When you didn't really get them a chance to do anything unique. They never really got that chance to shine. Like, they could have been putting out way more content for people. Like I said, I put it on Twitter before. There's so many great IPs that need to be put on other platforms because they are not available to play unless you own old hardware. There's so many of them. So game preservation was what they were doing at best. Like, they were knocking out the park. And to see them gone is a shame. Herman Holtz's tenure as the lead of this shit has been kind of weak. The past 5 to 6 years of PlayStation have been kind of weak, even though I think the PS5 has been getting shit on more than necessary. I think there's a lot of great games that came out in this era. But the fact is, it's definitely the weakest generation. By far, too. So, and yes, you could add COVID in there and add other factors, but at the end of the day, the games haven't been as good. So, I think Sony also is doing the same issue, having the same issues that Xbox have when it comes to just managing their people, managing their game releases, putting out their content consistently. Because they put out good content, but not consistently at all. The consistency of gaming has been lowered by a long shot over these past years. And I won't act like that is not the case. Both sides are fucking up for no fucking reason and firing people for no fucking reason just to save their bottom line before the fiscal year ends so their shareholders can be fucking happy. Fuck these shareholders. They don't know shit about the game industry at all. All they do is give money and pray to get more money out of it. They don't care about people's lives. They don't care about the art. They don't care about anything about that. So living and dying by them is nuts. That's why I hope no other big third-party company gets bought out. Because the moment you get bought out, you're eventually going to get shut down. Manage your business better. Please, like, for the love of God, don't overspend on one game and pray that it works. You're going to die. You're going to die that way. So it's sad to see. I hope and pray that a lot of these studios that survive the year with Xbox and PlayStation. Xbox has a lot of studios that's quiet, that's not making big games, that's eventually gonna be let go. Like, I'm finna look up all the Xbox studios right now. All Xbox studios that's currently acquired by Xbox that I think have a chance to just be gone. Right? I think all the Call of Duty studios are gonna be fine because they need them for rotation. Even though Call of Duty had its worst release by far in a long time, I think they're gonna be fine because guess what? Call of Duty still makes a shit ton of money. I think most Blizzard studios shit will be fine because even though people complain about Blizzard games, they still go out and buy them and still go out and play them. Overwatch recently had a resurgence. It's gonna be fine. Mobile games too. Mobile games print money. They don't gotta worry about shit. It's these smaller games like I mentioned, Obsidian, Undead Labs. Like of course they got a game coming out with State of Decay, but like, when the fuck is that gonna happen? Rare. What the fuck is Rare? Has Sea of Thieves, but like, what else you gonna put out? Everwild doesn't look that great. Like, what are you gonna do? Ninja Theory, you had the most money put into Hellblade 2, and I personally believe Hellblade 2 was not that great. It was a miss. What are you going to do? Like, yes, you're good at mocap stuff, like amazing art style, amazing graphics, but if your game's not selling, they're not finna invest that much money into you. Like, what the like, no. Halo, they're remaking 1 to put it everywhere. So they're probably currently safe if Halo 1 remake does well. It has to do well though. If that doesn't, then we're gonna look at 343 Studios a little bit different light. Not gonna lie to you. NXL is making Clockwork Revolution. That game comes out, it has to be a success, or they're probably going to. Like, the coalition with Gears of War, they got a new Gears of War coming out, so we'll see how that does. So like, the people with games coming out immediately or in the near future, they're probably gonna be fine until after their game comes out. But there's people that's like deep into development of like a new IP or a new game, yeah, you might get done out. Like a Tango Gameworks, like how Tango Gameworks got done dirty, it might happen to you. Like Machine Games also were making Wolfenstein, they did Indiana Jones games, but like, did the Indiana Jones game do that well? I don't think it did. Like, I think, even though that's Bethesda though, but like, it's certain studios that you look at like, you could be next and it won't be surprising at all. And that's what happens when you acquire so much and you don't make enough money back. These companies just think, all right, it's time to start firing them. But that's all for my rant today, I think. I have been having fun playing games. You know what I'm saying? It's just the game industry itself sucks. Like, I want to rant about RGG Studios too. I'll probably do that in another video. But yeah, the Yakuza series, one of my favorite series of all time, is in the shitter too. So like, because of bad management and bad teams just doing stupid things. So like, yeah, this is probably gonna be a weekly thing for me where I just talk about gaming, because like, I've been wanting to talk about gaming consistently for a long time, and I feel like this is probably the best time to do so. Yeah, let me know what y'all think. That's it. That's all. I'm out. Peace.